Today we got some more snow and fire. We may have another snowstorm for the northeast by this weekend. Good morning, I'm meteorologist It's February 20th, 2026. So starting with the snow for the upper Great Lakes in the northeast, because we're still dealing with the remnants of that low pressure that we saw yesterday that caused a lot of snow for the plains and tornadoes for Illinois and Indiana. Currently this surface low is tracking into Michigan, and so places like Wisconsin and western Michigan are still going to see some snow. For Wisconsin, this is going to end by this late afternoon. You guys are still going to see an additional 1 to 3 inches. For western and northern Michigan, I hate to say it, but you guys may have snow until about Monday. We're going to have this surface low that's going to kind of stay stationary in the eastern part of Michigan. But looking at 500 millibars, we have this trough here and it's bringing a little bit of vorticity and spin and it's helping with the lift. But we also have another one in the Manitoba area. And they've kind of come somewhat close in contact and almost having that Fujiwara effect that we see when hurricanes come together. And so these troughs are kind of like deflecting each other, especially the one in Manitoba. And both of these troughs funneled in their own set of moisture. And because they're both counterclockwise flow, since they're low pressure systems, they're kind of converging their moisture around the western Michigan and Canada area. And possibly with the influence of lake effect snow from Lake Superior, some of these areas in this line of snow may get 8 inches or even greater. If you live on the eastern portion of Lake Michigan, I would definitely expect some snow flurries, though not that much snow accumulation. Now for the northeast, we're going to see most of this snow in New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, maybe Rhode Island, and Maine. Now most places are going to see about like 1 to 3 inches of snowfall, but if you live in higher elevations or on the Appalachians, you guys are going to see a little bit more, maybe up to 4 inches or greater. And this snow is pretty much going to last them from all day today until about tomorrow afternoon. Now looking back at 500 millibars, we have another trough that's currently in the Utah, Colorado area. And already as of this morning, we already have a low pressure that has developed and it's causing a lot of snow in the higher elevations of Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico. Now most of the snow accumulation is going to appear on the western side of this Rocky Mountain range, but there are some lingering snow showers that may appear on the eastern part of Colorado into a little bit of Nebraska and Kansas. Now in the western portions, we're going to see the snow until about late evening, but by late evening on the eastern side of Colorado, this is where we're going to start seeing that snow into overnight into Kansas and Nebraska. Now we still have that westerly winds aloft, and with this surface low pressure that has developed, we're having a more westerly flow at the surface. So with the westerly flow coming down from the mountains, we're having that downslope effect, and so we're going to have dry air and a fire risk again for New Mexico and Texas through the eastern Rockies. Relative humidities are going to go below 15%, and we're going to have a cold front coming through, bringing in a little bit of cooler air, but especially drier air. We're going to see wind speeds around 20 to 25 miles per hour sustained, and we're also going to see this in the Midwest too, in the lower Great Lakes, because you guys just dealt with a cold front that just passed through. Now we're keeping an eye on this surface low pressure that's in the Rockies, because eventually it's going to travel eastward into the east coast, and when it does, it's going to kind of amplify and then travel northeast, and so we may see a snowstorm going from the mid-Atlantic all the way to Massachusetts. The Weather Prediction Center has already issued a high confidence of this snowstorm by Sunday. Now in terms of snow accumulation, it's kind of like up in the air, but we have some decent confidence of 4 inches or greater going from Maryland and New Jersey.